Your brother saved my son's life, a woman told me during my brother's funeral. A year later, she asked me to pretend my brother never existed. My brother died in a motorcycle accident. Our parents passed a few years before that when I was 19, so my brother Daniel was all I had left to call my family. However, he was an organ donator, and his organs saved 4 people. A hospital coordinator told me this 6 weeks after the funeral, like it was supposed to help. During Daniel's funeral, a couple approached me. The woman introduced herself as Pam. Her son had received my brother's heart. Her husband stood behind her, quiet and kind. Your brother saved my son's life, Pam said, crying. Your family now. She invited me to their home for dinner. I went because I had no family left, and because some part of me wanted to see where my brother had ended up. That first dinner, the dad pulled me aside. Thank you, he said. We wouldn't have my son here with us without your brother. His son Zeke shook my hand and couldn't meet my eyes. I don't know what to say except I'm sorry and thank you. Pam talked the entire meal about her sleepless nights, her prayers, her journey. She mentioned her own son's condition maybe twice. When she mentioned Daniel, she called him the donor. I didn't mind. I was just grateful to belong somewhere again. However, Pam launched a social media account 6 months later called Zeke's Second Chance. She sent me a link and told me that if I really loved my brother, I should follow her. The first posts were fine. Then it became less about Zeke and more about her sacrifice, her faith. Zeke appeared in videos looking miserable, clearly not wanting to be filmed. She posted him anyway. Daniel was never mentioned by name. When I asked about why she never mentioned my brother on her account, Pam smiled. We like to say I found him a donor. It sounds better for the brand. The dad's jaw tightened. Zeke left the room. I kept visiting once a month because the dad and Zeke made me feel welcome. Zeke started texting me memes. Then we had real conversations. He had Daniel's same dry humor. Sometimes he'd send a joke and I'd forget for a second that my brother was gone. But St. Pam grew colder each visit. At one barbecue, the dad asked me to share a story about Daniel. I told him about the time he drove 4 hours to help me move a couch. Everyone laughed. The dad's eyes got watery. Pam's smile went tight. After dinner, she pulled me aside. I think it's best if you stop mentioning your brother, she said. People want to hear about Zeke's miracle. Your brother complicates that. I just nodded because nodding makes people leave faster. But I kept showing up because the dad and Zeke felt like the only family I had left. A month later, Pam published a memoir. Daniel appeared on page 147, half a paragraph, and no name was mentioned. She called me the next day. Journalists might reach out and I want you to decline any interviews. Your brother just complicates my story. No journalists ever called, but I said okay because I couldn't lose another family, and somewhere along the way, Zeke and I became something like brothers. We started hanging outside family dinners, beers after work, baseball games. He'd elbow me when something funny happened, exactly like Daniel used to. One night, 3 drinks in, he asked about my brother, not the sanitized version. I told him about the time Daniel got us banned from mini golf for trying to ride the windmill at a mini golf course. Zeke was laughing so hard he had tears in his eyes. He sounds like someone I would have liked. He would have thought your mom was insane, I said. Zeke almost choked on his beer. Yeah, he would have been right. Then the account hit 10,000 followers, so St. Pam threw herself a party to celebrate. I was lucky enough to get an invitation, and Zeke found me by the snack table an hour in. Can I ask about your brother? What was his favorite? Zeke. Pam appeared out of nowhere. What are you two whispering about, Daniel? Zeke said. I wanted to know more about him. Her face cycled through several expressions. None good. This isn't the time. Today is about your day. I know, Mom. It's always your day. The whole party froze. Zeke had never talked back before. Excuse me? Pam said. I'm tired. Zeke's voice was steady. I'm tired of being your content. I'm tired of you calling the guy who saved my life the donor when his brother is standing right here. His name was Daniel. He's not a paragraph in your book. He's the reason I'm breathing. Pam grabbed onto Zeke's arm and pinched. Zeke, lower your voice. No. Zeke turned to me. What was his favorite movie? Die Hard, I said. He watched it every Christmas. Zeke's face broke into a grin. Mine too. Pam looked around for backup, found none. The dad walked over and stood beside Zeke. He's right, the dad said quietly. I've had enough. You're more grateful for the story than for our son being alive. Pam's face went white. You're embarrassing me, she whispered. You've been embarrassing yourself for 2 years, the dad said. We just stopped pretending not to notice. St. Pam posted only 2 more times after that night. The first was 20 minutes of tearful apology about stepping back from the account since she's so busy with other projects. The second appeared 3 days later, a complete tribute to Daniel.